I'm super excited. And I put on makeup for you. It's not a very common occurrence that I would actually put on makeup for a webinar or a boot camp. So if you can hear me okay and you can see me okay with 2 kilos of makeup on my face, just let me know in the chat box. Where's the chat box? Where's the chat box? I need to find the chat box. Okay. So, yes, so ready. Okay. Okay, so Kate, Jesna, hey, Fabian. Oh my God, so good to have you guys here. So, hey, Corina, Elisa, it's 9 p.m. in my country. Elisa, it's 10 p.m. in my country and I didn't have dinner. Okay, great. So everyone can see me and hear me okay too. So great. And yeah, I don't normally look like this. Like I said, it's 2 kilos of makeup, and then there is this really nifty little thing in Google Hangouts that's called smooth. So when you press the smooth button, you look really nice. And I don't want to show you what happens when I switch it off. So try it for yourself. I'm not gonna do it for you. Hey, Shanali. Hey, Pam, Michelle. Oh, so many people are joining in. Hey, Hannah. Wow, I love it. So many people are here. Oh my God. Okay, so 10 p.m., which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you all know, we don't wait for the latecomers. We start right on time. So we are, hey, Jen. So we are going to go ahead and start right on time. Greetings from Portland, Oregon. Oh, thank you, Ruby. Oh my God, we could all pause. No one is pausing for dinner. No one is doing anything. I have my farting dolphin bottle here. That those of you who attended the Pitch Perfect webinar, they all know that when I took a sip from this bottle, whenever I take a sip from this bottle, it sounds like a farting dolphin. So I have it right here. If I get thirsty, I can just entertain you with some farting dolphins. And in the meantime, we are not going to waste any time. It's 10 p.m. here too. Great. Hey, Gabe. Hey, Carla. Hey, Elle. Lisa. Hey, so many great people. Oh my God. I love to see so many people here live. Okay. So I'm going to stop the chat box right now, and I think I'm going to jump right in to the actual bootcamp. Thank you so much for showing up. I am just super pumped. I know a ton of people wrote to me and they said they cannot make it live, so you don't have to worry about it. You will have access to the replay at the same link where you are watching this webinar. I have not decided yet how long I will leave the replay up. Maybe I'll leave it forever. I don't know. I have not decided it yet. So, you can still access it. And there's also the YouTube link. So there is no scarcity. I have put in so much effort into this bootcamp that I really want to have, I hope and wish that, as many people as possible can actually get to watch this. So before we start, can I just request you, if possible, if you are in a situation where you can do that, I would love for you guys to share the link to the bootcamp, or you can drop a comment on under this video. There's this comment box where you can drop a comment and it shows up in your Facebook timeline, which will be really nice if you could say a few nice things about me. Or if you could share the link, and if you want to share the link, please share the sign up link for the bootcamp, which is thepersuasionrevolution.com/emails that sell. And I would love for more people to join us. We have about 1,320 people registered, and I think we have about 200 something joining us live. So we'll see. Hey, Fabiola. Yeah, it will be. Yes. No worries. Hey, Shelly. Okay. So let's get started. This is a very action-packed bootcamp. So that's another reason I have decided to give you the replay, because I totally get that you will probably not be able to get all the things that we are covering in this webinar just by watching it once. To make it easy for you, there are 2 download links right underneath the video. One is where you can download the slides we'll be using, and the other one is where you will download your homework, because there is homework. It's a boot camp, That means there's a lot of booty kicking involved, and nothing kicks booty like homework. So you can click these and you can download those PDFs if you want to use them to follow along, great, or you can use them for your reference later on. So this is it. I'm going to start sharing the screen and we are going to get started. Okay. Okay. Now I can relax because I know that you are not seeing me. Okay, let me just confirm this. Can you see me or can you see the slide? Please tell me that you can't see me anymore so I can, move around certain parts of my anatomy, um, fix those parts if you cannot see me. So please tell me. Hey, Lashonda, smooth button. Yes, and you have to check out the smooth button. It's the bomb. It makes you look 10 years younger. Okay, so can you see the slide? The slideshow that says emails that sell bootcamp day one. Yes? No? Anyone? I see the slides. Perfect. Great. So you can't see me, so I can do whatever I want. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me just make it full screen. Okay. So what we are covering in today's topic, I have laid down every possible technique that I have used or I've learned from others or I have seen people use in order to write emails that actually stand out in an inbox. A lot of people that I see, they focus, they place a lot of focus on subject lines, and their subject lines are super, super, super important, and we are covering those in detail in today's lesson. But what's even more important is are things that are much, much simpler than a subject line, and we're going to talk about them. So emails that stand out in a crowded inbox, that are virtually impossible to not open, and that create a sense of eager anticipation. This is what we are trying to do here. I am not promising that it will, transform your email marketing efforts forever. But what I have seen is that just by making these small tweaks, I have seen massive improvement in my results. And it's an ongoing process. The more you do this, the more results you will see. And here comes the farting dolphin. Haha! She didn't fart that much today. Okay, anyway. So we will keep it short and sweet. It's a boot camp, so it's not going to be an hour, 45 minutes. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. I'm just going to give you a very, very small introduction of who I am. I know that a lot of people who are joining in today, at least the names that I see in the chat box, are the ones who already know me. But for those of you who don't know me, I will introduce myself in like 30 seconds. I'm not going to spend hours talking about how great I am because I'm not that great. And then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the actual training for about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to talk about what's next, which is actually your homework. And then we are going to go into the Q&A for 10 minutes. So this is me. My name is Bushra Azhar. For those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of thepersuasionrevolution.com. This firecracker that you see right here is my daughter. And these nice, gentle-looking boys are my husband and my son. The girls and the boys in the house have completely different personalities. And it makes for an interesting dynamic. I started my business last year, almost exactly a year ago. And I've been very, very blessed that I have managed to grow my business from absolutely nothing, like literally absolutely nothing, to where I am right now, where I am making about averaging about $25,000 per month purely from this business. And it is still something that I do on the side. I am a management consultant and I run a business advisory firm here in Saudi Arabia with another partner. And I do that work as well. And plus I run the house and, do all the other stuff that moms and wives and homemakers do. So it's an interesting, very, very gratifying experience. And if you want to know more about my story, you can check out the About tab on my homepage. I don't need to tell you any more than what I already did. Was that 30 seconds? Yeah, I'm hoping it was less than 30 seconds. Okay, so we are getting into the meat and potatoes of the actual training, and and I'm right now, like I said in the beginning, I'm only going to cover one aspect, which is getting people to open your email. Because if I try to cover all, it'll be, it'll just be a lot of, I don't know, it'll be just a little too much. Um, so, the backbone concept. What is my ideology? What is my philosophy when it comes to getting people to open your emails? My belief system is that your email has to stand out in a crowded email inbox if you want people to take notice. And you can do this by three things. You can do this by being disruptive, you can do this by being influential, or you can do this by being atypical. Now, disruptive will cover all of these in far more detail, but I just want to share with you my philosophy on what this means. So, the one thing, if you have to leave this lesson now, I would just want you to take this one thing away. When you write your email subject line, think to yourself, is anyone else in my industry using this subject line? And if the answer is yes, don't use it. That's my core backbone concept of email subject lines. If anyone else in your industry is using this particular subject line, then you have to switch it up. You have to be atypical, you have to be disruptive, you have to get people to get up and take notice. Attention is money. Attention is better than money, because when you have attention, you can multiply the money manyfold. And if you use the same subject lines that everyone and their mother are teaching on the internet, and all of your industry leaders or gurus, because I like to call them gurus, because they're not gurus, they spew so much poo and crap that they're actually gurus. So if you follow the advice of the gurus, you will look like all the other gurus, which means people will not take notice. Does that make sense? Okay. Superwoman. Oh, okay. What software are you using for the Hangout? And I'm the cheapest person that you will ever meet. I'm not using any software. I'm using just the Hangouts and the Chatwing app, which is absolutely free. So no software. Everything is manual. Monica. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. It looks like Lead Pages with a hack. No. Yeah, no, I'm not using lead pages. I just took the Hangout video embed code, YouTube video embed code, and I embedded it on my WordPress site. So I'm not using any email software. Like I said, a very, very cheap person. Okay, no other questions. So does that make sense? The idea that if you are writing the subject lines that everyone in your industry are writing, then you probably should just stop sending emails, because no one is going to take notice. No one is going to take notice. It's just going to get lost in their inbox. So yes, does that make sense? Yes, no, yes. Okay, I'll come back to this. I hope it makes sense. Okay, so I have been at, if there is a spectrum of email opens, I've been through the entire spectrum. So I've been in situations where I've seen a 20%, 30%, okay, never less than 20, 25, yeah, never less than 24, because this one is 24, but about that range, from all the way to about 80% open rate and 53, 54% click-through rates. And I don't have a massive list, but I also don't have a tiny list. My list is about 7,500. I think lately it's about 7,800 because of the boot camp. I got a massive bump in my email list. But still, it's not a massive list. So a lot of people tell me that the reason you have such great open rates is because your email list is so small. And I tell them, I don't care. As long as more than half of my email list is actually clicking open my emails, I am good and I'm happy and I'm satisfied. So the idea here is what I'm trying to show with this is because I've been through the entire, I've been positioned into all these different points on the spectrum. I've seen 20%, I've seen 40%, I've seen 80%, I've seen 60%. I have kind of summarized the key takeaways as to what makes your email stand out in an inbox comes down to 3 C's. That's my 3 C theory of email attention. And these 3 C's are curiosity, continuity, and chemistry. Now, interestingly, more than, okay, I'm not going to throw a number, but yeah, about 95, 96, 97% of the advice, when you go looking for the advice on how to improve your open rates, almost everyone is talking about curiosity. Everyone talks about curiosity, but that's not the only factor. Yes, curiosity works. Yes, it gets people to open your emails, but people are, I think they are starting to get a little pissed when they always receive bait and switch emails, upworthy style emails or bait and switch emails, which are only meant for people to, open the email. I absolutely hate the emails where people send saying, oops, wrong link, sending the right link again. And this is a typical example of using bait and switch subject lines. I've had situations where I've sent wrong links, but I didn't have the the guts to send an email saying, oops, wrong link, because so many people have abused this technique to get higher open rates. So curiosity is not the only factor that determines whether your email stands out in the inbox or whether people would open it. So the other 2 C's are equally, if not more important, because people are kind of, getting ahead of you. They know when you're using bait and switch headlines, so subject lines. So it's curiosity, continuity, and chemistry, and we're going to talk about all 3 of these in this lesson. Are we good so far? Yes? 16 minutes in, we are good so far. It seems we're good so far, right? Yes. Okay. It seems like we're good so far. Okay, so so let's talk about the first one, which is curiosity, where everyone likes to talk about curiosity, and I want to share with you my take on what creates curiosity. I've seen that using uncommon or weird word combinations work great for creating curiosity. And I will give you a few examples. I'm not just throwing the statement out there expecting you to figure it out on your own. So using uncommon or weird word combinations work great when you're trying to elicit curiosity. Creating any sort of disruption. I will show you examples of a few disruptive subject lines. Opening an information gap where you're telling half the thing, you're kind of teasing them a little bit, you're not giving them the full answer. It also works great for curiosity, although using information gap in a subject line is quickly becoming very, very old. Can I ask you a quick question? Can I ask for a quick favor? You won't believe what happened to me this afternoon. All of these are examples of using information gap in a subject line, which is quickly becoming old because people have just abused this so much that, even when you use it for reals, people don't believe you. And the last one is a very, very specific tease where you just, you know that they have a certain sticking point and you kind of poke at that sticking point. But this would only work if you know your ideal buyer in and out, if you know every single thing about them, you know their secret desires and whatever their sticking point is, because unless you don't, it will probably not work because you might be teasing the wrong thing. It sounds really wrong. You might be teasing the wrong thing, but yeah, you know what I mean. So, examples. When it comes to curiosity, there are a few sample headlines that I want to share with you. And no, this is not the template. These are just sample headlines that use the principles that I just talked about, you know, using weird combinations, using combinations people are not expecting to see. Saying something like the Zen of bodybuilding. You know, the word Zen and the word bodybuilding seems to be miles apart. So when you put them together, it automatically creates a sense of curiosity. And what the hell is she talking about? I need to find out what this is. Another way to use this is linking two completely, unrelated concepts together. Can you really trust your mother? Now, mother is probably the most trustworthy person out there for a person. When you say a statement like, can you really trust your mother? People are like, what? You know, so it creates a sense of curiosity for them. It's very, very disruptive. What Lindsay Lohan can teach us about self-control. It should have had a question mark at the end. And okay, anyway, I hope you forgive me for that. So you're like, okay, can Miss Lohan actually teach us anything about self-control? So that question itself is very disruptive. This is how lame writers are making six-figure incomes. Again, a very disruptive statement, a very, very weird combo. You want to find out about this because you have no idea how this could actually be true. Can a polar bear win a mud wrestling match? Again, extremely disruptive, and you're like, what? And this is exactly what you're trying to get. When you're trying to create curiosity, you're trying to create this sense. What? This exactly, and delivered in exactly the same tone. If you don't know this about your husband, you are a bad wife. Ooh, I want to know what this is about my husband because I don't want to be a bad wife, although I, as an I, Bushra, definitely am a bad wife. So yeah, yeah, there is no doubt about it. Okay, so I just want to, I just want to go and check this. Check the chat box to see everything is okay. What if you really send the wrong link? Carolyn, I've had situations where I sent the wrong link and I didn't have the guts to actually send the correct one because people abuse it. They really, really abuse it. And yes, you should absolutely check your links 5 to 6 times before you send it. I try, yeah. Okay. Whew. Continuity. So what is continuity? Okay, before you guys start freaking out, please understand that the concepts of curiosity, continuity, and what was the third one? Chemistry. I'm just explaining the concepts right now. We still haven't gotten to that part of the bootcamp where I'm going to actually make you do the work and actually give you the formulas that you can use in your email marketing. So don't freak out. We're still at the concept stage. We have not gotten into the how-to stage. So don't freak out. I just wanted to share with you the overall umbrella concept so you know why we do all the things that we do. The next thing in the triple C formula is continuity. And this idea is very interesting because it has nothing to do with the subject line. It has nothing to do with the subject line. Instead, the idea here is to give a teaser in your last email. So when you send an email, say, I don't know, you're sending an email about a week before your launch, put a teaser in that email to get people excited about the next email that you're sending them. So you can close your email saying something like, and I have some examples, stay tuned because tomorrow you'll discover the #1 way to get rid of weeds in your garden. It's so easy and it works almost like magic. So by default, when you send the next email, if they have read the last email, by default, your email will stand out in the inbox because they've already been teased. In just 3 days from now, you'll get instant access to this absolutely free webinar, but it's first come, first serve. So be sure to keep a close eye on your inbox on Tuesday morning. Automatically, if they read these lines and if the webinar topic is exciting to them, they will be on the lookout for your email, and that's exactly what you want. Tomorrow, you'll discover the best way to get rid of belly fat without hunger pangs and without exercise. See you in 24 hours. You don't want to miss this fat busting secret. I know it sounds really sleazy, but I just wanted to give you the example to show you how you can use the concept of continuity in your emails. The idea is when someone opens your email, the benefit should not just be that they open your email. The benefit should also manifest itself into the next email and the next email and the next email. Use the action of opening an email as a hook to create excitement for your next email. And one ways that I skipped, but I will go back, one of the ways that I have done this is using it in the subject line. So when I launched what did I launch? Okay, I launched so many things I don't even remember, but I launched something where I said, I started sharing a series of blog posts. So, it was all about the kind of mistakes that people make when they ask someone for the sale. So I said, mistake 1 of 6 doing this, mistake 2 of 6. So automatically, if they've read one email, let's just say mistake 2 of 6, they will automatically be looking for the mistake 3 of 6. I have had, when I was using this sequence, I've had people write to me and say, oh, I missed the third mistake 3 of 6 because I got on your list on this date. Can I have the rest of the blog post? And it was not even a blog post. It was just an email with like literally 2 paragraphs just to get them excited about what I was going to launch. And that's the beauty of using continuity, because people are, the human brains are engineered to fill gaps. They see mistake 1 of 6, they see 2, they see 3, and they don't see 4. They go look for mistake 4 of 6. So these are some of the ways that you can use continuity in your email copy. I'm just going to go see where this is. Crap, I was late. Damn it. Kristen, don't worry about it. You will have the replay. Don't worry about it. Yes, there's a recording. Okay, Bushra, you're diabolic. Okay. Okay, thank you. I will take that as a compliment, Monica. Okay, the replay is available everywhere. It's going to be on the same link. It's going to run. When I take it down, after I take it down, it will only be available in the lab. But as of now, it's just going to it's going to be live. So I'll probably leave it live for about 4 or 5 days, as long as the bootcamp is running, and then I will take it down, and then it goes into the lab. Examples of how destructive headlines could be disruptive, you mean to say, Stephanie, disruptive headlines. Examples of how disruptive headlines could be used for tech, web design, business. Let me give you a great example of this one, Stephanie. And it's interesting because this email subject line was it was used by AppSumo, which is a tech company, and it's like a Groupon for entrepreneurs. They have these great entrepreneurial deals. It was interesting. Before I share with you the disruptive headline or the disturbing headline subject line that they use in the email, I saw it. The moment I saw it, I opened it and I immediately bought the deal. And then I was hanging out in one of those entrepreneurial Facebook groups, and someone posted the same email as an example of sleazy marketing. And the subject line was, your computer is going to die. And the argument that I made in favor of this subject line was, guys, if you are as messy as I am, if you have ever spilled tea, coffee, water, you name it, on your computer, you know how disruptive this subject line would be for person. So they were not talking to you. The reason, when I saw it, I literally opened it and I bought on the spot, because I've been in those situations. The reason it seemed sleazy or icky to that person who was posting it as an example was because she probably was never in that situation. She probably is I don't know, really careful person, or she has backups, or she's careful. For me, it was like, oh my God, I need this right now, because literally I don't know whether the next second I will have my computer or not. So that was a great example. So what I want you to understand when I gave you this example, hey, Laurie, but I gave you this example because I want you to understand that when you write these subject lines, it will come across as sleazy and disturbing and icky for people who you're not writing to. Another example, I was participating in a giveaway with a bunch of really awesome women, really, really, really awesome women. It was a giveaway event, and I was supposed to send an email to my list telling them about the giveaway. The email that I sent, it didn't say, I'm participating in a giveaway, come check it out, or come check out my goodies, as anyone will, typically send. The email that I sent was, I'm taking part in an orgy, and the entire email talked about, I know that you fantasize about it, and there are all these great women, and the whole theme was about this angle. I don't even remember how many women wrote back to me and said that was the best subject line they'd ever come across. And I received one email from a gentleman who said, this is the worst example of sleazy marketing that I've ever come across. Please unsubscribe me from your list. So this is going to happen. Let's just accept it, that when you speak directly to your ideal buyer and you speak to them using the techniques that hook them, you will absolutely, absolutely alienate others. If you don't want to alienate others and you want to play safe, then you will always get mediocre results. People who get big results are those who cast their flag, who take a stand and say, you know what, this is how I'm going to talk to my ideal buyer, and I know that in the process I will alienate those who are not my ideal buyers, and that's okay. Oh, that was a speech. Okay. Okay, so see, Monica, Laurie, there are people who actually said that this was their favorite headline. Great, excellent. So I'm just going to go take a drink of water before I continue. Okay, so we are halfway through. It's 10:30. I didn't let the dolphin fart this time. You should give me brownie points for that. Okay. Chemistry. The last one is chemistry, which I am a huge fan of. And the idea here is to make sure that you don't sound like everyone else. And you could do this, you don't sound like everyone else, or you don't look like everyone else. And there are many different ways you can do this. I have 5 examples here that I have personally used, and I've seen a lot of successful marketers use, and I want to share those with you. The first one is bringing your personality into the email. So I will give you tons of examples of how to do this. Don't worry about it right now. But I just wanted to, again, like I said, I want to give you the overall umbrella concept. Bring your personality into the email, and don't sound like everyone else. Use your own name. And here I have to share with you a tip that I picked up from Copy Hackers, which is interesting, because the idea here is that a lot of people now check their emails on their phones. And when you check your Gmail, which is the most common email service that people use, when you use your Gmail on your phone, the only thing and the biggest thing that you would see is the name of the person. This means that if you use the name of your company, and I've been doing this, I've been using the name of my company. I used to use the name of my company, so my emails would go out from the Persuasion Revolution. And then I realized, you know what? People know me as Bushra more than they know me as the Persuasion Revolution, and they connect with me more when I send emails from my own name. So I started using my own name, because when they see in the inbox, in the Gmail inbox over phone, and the biggest and the boldest thing that they see is the name of the person, of the sender, and they see a company name, your brain, your subconscious automatically tunes it out, because it's a company. Buffer does it very nicely. When they send email, it says, I don't know, Stephen from Buffer. So even they do use their company names, they use the name of the person first, which is really important. So I highly recommend that you use your own name instead of using the name of your company. Also, try experimenting with special characters. I know that GetResponse allows you to use special characters, and don't overdo it. I see a lot of people who overdo it, but I use it, for example, for my welcome email. It says something like the first hello and the gifts, and there is a heart. It's a special character. There's a heart, next to at the end of the subject line. It looks really cute. I get really great open rates, and yes, people are reporting, the consumer research reports show, the conversion statistics show that using special characters strategically actually boost your open rates. But like I said, do not overdo it, and use special characters that are easily recognizable. Don't use a finger, don't use, don't use things that they could confuse with something else. So just make sure you use characters that are easily recognizable. Okay, once someone sent me an email, and she was talking about some sort of a party or celebration or something, and I think she probably thought that she wanted to use a balloon with a string. It looked like a turd. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you this. I swear to God, it looked like a turd. So when you decide to use special characters, make sure they don't look like poop. Make sure they look like easily recognizable characters. Stick to a heart or a flower or a sun or something, so it's easily recognizable. Um, Another way to stand out in a subject line is using too long or too short subject lines. A lot of people say, you know what, use 6 words because that's the best length. Listen, if you are going to use the length that everyone else is using, you're not going to stand out. So do what others are not doing. If everyone in your industry is sending 6-word subject lines, try sending 2, try sending 12. Even if they read half of the subject line and they don't read the rest of the words in your subject line, that's okay. That creates a curiosity gap. Do what others are not doing if you want to stand out. So I have sent, and have I sent it, or have I seen it somewhere? I don't remember whether I've sent it myself or I've seen it somewhere. But sending a subject line such as "you in?" question mark is gets a great open rate. Got a sec question mark also gets great open rates. And like I said, don't be like everyone else. And now I'm going to show you an example of why I hate being like everyone else. These are some of my, favorite peoples. These are really, the reason that I'm on their list is because I like their work. But they all were affiliates for B School, and they all sent these emails literally one after the other when B School was about to close. And each one of this seems like, it's sent by the same person. B School closes today. B School enrollment ends today. Natalie says SEO is a womanly art, but then you can say, speaking of B School, up for B School, 3 p.m. Eastern. I just recorded this quick video, bit time sensitive, enroll in B School, considering B School, read this today. Why are you doing this? Why would you want to, knowing that you are competing against all these big guns? Why would you send an email that sounds like everyone else? These are great people. These are people who have great content. Why would you not spend some time to write a subject line that will actually stand out in an inbox and actually make me take notice? Because this I'm going to tune out, because all of these sound the same. So what's the purpose? Okay, so I'm just going to go before, I just want to show you one example. So I want to show you one example. Now, all of these are last chance emails, typical last chance emails, last chance, closing down, doors closing, typical, everyone uses the same subject lines. So when I was closing, the price was going up for my PH lab, I sent this email. It says, wake up, dude, price goes up in 2 days. At least I know, even if the person is not going to buy, I know that they would look at my email and they would think, that's interesting. Let me check out what she has to say. And that's exactly what the purpose of your subject line is. You need for them to not be like this. As you can see, I haven't even opened these emails, and that's really sad. That's really sad that I didn't even bother opening these emails, because they all sound the same. When you see something like this, it's still a last chance email. It's an email that's urging them to, take notice and come sign up, but it's using a different, different technique. It's using something that's atypical. So, and incidentally, it was one of my best emails, both in terms of open and in terms of conversions. So before we get into the how-to of the CCC, triple C concept, I just want to quickly look at the chat box and see if I have any questions. Okay. Okay. Okay, in the headline for sure, don't choose the characters in every subject line other. Yes, yes, please. Okay, no finger. And are you disappointed because you can't use your finger? Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I just started using my first name because yeah, Bushra is not a very common name. So, oh my God, thank you, Tanny. Oh my God, love this. Okay, these are all nice emails, very, very nice things that you're saying in this. But I want to see if there are a few questions. Okay, one day, friend, who could get more emails regarding B School? My email went crazy. Okay, great. So, is everyone with me so far? Do you agree with me? Are you getting the value that you were looking for? Does the concept make sense to you? Yes? Okay, so yes, I'm hoping that the concept does make sense to you. So I'm just going to take a 2-minute break, take a big sip of water. I'm going to mute the mic so you don't have to listen to the, the farting dolphin. And I'm going to go come back and see the questions if there are any. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Great. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Now we're getting into the how-to part, which is my absolute favorite. So what I'm sharing with you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subject line formulas. Now, you can download these slides and you can use these, but I don't want you to use these subject lines as they are right now. What I want you to do is, if you have already downloaded it and if you have access to a computer, I want you to download your homework PDF and open it so I can explain to you how the both work together. Now, what we are trying to do here is we are trying to write email subject lines, or we're trying to write emails that get them curious, that use a little bit of your personality or chemistry, and that create a sense of continuity. So the five of my favorite subject line formulas that I'm sharing with you. Formula 1 is fuck the system headline. And I know it sounds wrong, and those of you who have sensitive ears, maybe I should have blocked this out. So the system headline. I typically, I think I don't swear on webinars. Do I? I think I don't. Okay, okay. From now on, I'm trying not to swear on live webinars. So the system headline is my favorite formula, number 1. And what you're doing here is you're taking an accepted belief system about your topic, and you are pitching it against what you have to say about it. So 10 lies, whatever the fitness gurus like to tell about whatever. Can you really trust, whatever, I don't know, marketing geniuses? 5 things you should know before you decide. Scientists claim carbs are bad for you. I'm here to give you the lowdown on what is really happening. So these are just examples. The idea here is that this subject line works really well because it combines the beauty of a curiosity headline and the beauty of a chemistry headline, because you are taking a firm stance against the accepted belief system, whatever there is, whatever the accepted belief system there is. So this is my favorite subject line formula, number 1. Subject line formula number 2, an unlikely lesson headline. So what you're doing here is, this was similar to, what Lindsay Lohan can teach us about self-control. choose completely unlikely combinations, and then try to create a lesson that does not make sense. What Warren Buffett can teach us about stretching a buck, and you'd be like, what? So if you are, for example, a financial, management expert, or you help people deal with financial, I don't know, make budgets, do more financially fiscally responsible, then you could use something like this. What Warren Buffett can teach us about stretching a buck, and you'd be like, really? And you can use this for persons. You can use this for examples. I use this. I remember Alice in the Wonderland, I wrote for my corporate blog. That was one of my most popular blog posts and newsletters, where I said what Alice in Wonderland can teach us about corporate social responsibility. And I was like, what? Alice in Wonderland? It's a fantasy. Can it teach us something about corporate social responsibility? But it did really well. You can also talk about a book. You could say something like, what Winnie the Pooh can teach us about, I don't know, the psychology of eating. And you'd be like, what? Can Winnie the Pooh actually teach us something? So, like I said, the litmus test is you get them to go, what? In exactly the same tone. So let me ask you if this makes any sense. Okay. Okay. So Nancy noted the point about Sumomi and how that boosts traffic. I am going to put this down. Okay. For future topics, absolutely. So what was the question here? The question here is the recording. Yes, the recording is available, and I think I'm going to leave it up for as long as the bootcamp is up. And when I take it down, I'm just going to put it in the Persuasion Hacks Lab. But as long as it is, the camp is running, it will be up. Okay. Subject line formula number 3. Defy the odds headline. Now, this could be any unlikely success story, which people absolutely love, or any rags to riches kind of story, because everyone loves an underdog. We should all know that. We all love an underdog. So the idea here is to use an unlikely success story, how, whatever, use some person's example, turned around whatever the situation was, despite, their difficult situation. Can a dash win a dash? And you can give something like, can let's just say in weight loss niche, can a 300-pound woman win a marathon or something? Whatever that person can teach us about perseverance and hard work. It's similar to the lesson headline, but the way we're using it here is to create an unlikely success story, or what a certain event can teach us about unity. Now, this event has to be unlikely. You don't expect that event to actually teach people about unity, because you'd be like, really? Does that even make sense? So it's an unlikely, defying the odds kind of success story, because people like to see unlikely lessons or unlikely stories, especially when there is an underdog involved. So number 4, the dissent creating headline. Now, this is a situation where you're creating feelings of temporary anger, and you can do this by, so 2 of the examples that I'm going to give you here are 2 of the most popular New York Times articles. One was called New Reasons for Women to Feel Bad About Their Bodies, and the other one was called Why You Aren't Married. They went freaking, see, I use freaking, I didn't use the F word, the other F word. I'm being nice. So they went freaking viral. I don't even know, probably 1 million shares or something, because it creates a temporary sense of anger. So make sure you don't piss them off for good. Make sure whenever you are aggravating them or aggravating their emotions about a certain thing, make sure you kind of bring it down in the post or the email itself. So New Reasons for Women to Feel Bad About Their Bodies, it's not actually an article about new reasons for women to feel bad about their bodies. It actually kind of, kills that notion. It makes, it reverses the whole idea. But the subject line itself is absolutely fantastic. It was, by the way, the topic of research as to why things go viral. It was that good. And the other one is Why You Aren't Married. Again, it is amazing. It is an absolutely, it went, like I said, freaking viral. And it talks about, again, it doesn't talk about why you aren't really mad, but it creates a sense of temporary anger. Example, it is your fault you're not getting the weight loss results you want, for example, which could create sense of maybe permanent anger. I don't know. It depends on how you handle it. Why you need to stop blaming the world for your financial problems or something. So you are invoking feelings of temporary anger on purpose. Last formula, the question that haunts us all: our purpose in life, our personality type, unfair distribution of riches, and other mind-boggling questions that we don't have the answers to, but we want the answers to these questions. So why some people always get the best whatever, 10 ways to find your, I don't know, email personality, 8 habits of highly effective, I don't know, fit people or something, highly fit people. So the idea here is that questions that we ask themselves, about ourselves or about the world, or questions that are, that typically don't have an answer, people don't have an answer for, are the kind of questions that you can answer in this kind of subject line or headline. It works really, really, really well. And oh my God, someone says Bushra's photo in my inbox is Bushra's brilliance. Oh my God, Lerin, I love this. Thank you. And Laurie, yes, I remember Laurie used the one about Bob the Builder, and it was her top open rates. I can absolutely imagine why it would have such top open rates. So these are the 5 formulas, but I don't want you to just use these formulas and run with them, because we have one small exercise left, which is your homework. And I'm going to show you how we are going to use the outcome from that homework, plug these into these formulas, and that will give you email subject lines for the next 1 year, which I can guarantee will have better open rates than the ones you have right now. Who's ready for the homework? Who's ready for the homework? Who's ready for the homework? Someone tell me. Yes? Yes? No? Yes? 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 No? Okay. Something is loading. I'm assuming it's okay, I'm assuming it's a chat box. So someone please tell me that they're ready, because if you're not ready, I would look like a fool. Okay, great, Carla, Tenny, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So now we're going to talk about, because again, these formulas are great. I'm not going to say they are great. I'm going to say they are good. But we're going to make them great because they have one thing missing. Can anyone tell me what is the one thing that's missing in these formulas? Can anyone tell me what is the one thing that's missing in these formulas? Every time I use the word formulas, I realize that formulas technically is not a word. The word is formulae, and my grammar teacher would probably kill me. I know everyone's ready. Shonali, I'm trying to be the sleazy, icky telemarketer who says, "Are you ready to buy?" I know I'm doing this. Okay. Okay, but I'm going to tell you what these 5 formulas are missing. Anyone can take these formulas. They're not like rocket science. They're on my blog, probably somewhere on my blog. So, and I talk about them all the time. Anyone can take them. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Amber. What they're missing, and thank you, Betelo, what they're missing is your personality. They're missing the chemistry. So they address the part about curiosity, and they address the part about continuity to some extent, but they don't address the part about chemistry. They're missing your personality, and that's where the homework comes in. Yay! Okay, so I am going to, if you have the handout ready, I'm just going to put this one up. This is the second handout, not the handout. This is so you can download it. It's the second link under the video. This says Emails That Sell Bootcamp handout for day 1. You can download is everyone does buy from you. Yeah. Okay, not everyone. Yeah, but people do. I'm very, very grateful. Okay, so now what words you are supposed to use in your subject lines for maximum opens that reflect your personality. And here's the homework. how are you going to use this homework? We will go through the lists that we have and we will choose 5 trigger words for each emotion that speak the loudest to you and your brand. I'm going to show you exactly what that means. And then you will list down the equivalent trigger phrases for each of these 5 triggers. I'm going to show you now. Don't freak out. And then you will plug these trigger words into the formulas that we just covered in the boot camp. So you have great subject lines. And then the homework and the accountability that you need to do is to you will choose 5 of these and you will post them on social media and you will ask your ideal buyer as to which subject line are they most likely to click on. And I know a lot of people do that, but they do it in a very lame way. They will just go on into a Facebook group, for example, and say, which email subject line would you most likely to click on? But what I want you to say is, if you are a working mother in your 30s, struggling with putting together, struggling with starting her business, assuming that's your ideal buyer, struggling to start a business while doing a full-time job, which subject line are you most likely to click on? So describe your ideal buyer in any of the communities that you hang out on, and then put any of those 5 subject lines, because that will give you an indication as to what's resonating with those people. So before we'll come back to this process, first I want to show you, this is one of my best works. I am super proud of this list. I'm super, super proud of this list. And let me tell you how it works. So in the first column, in the very first column, you will see the emotions. So the first emotion that you see on this page is excitement, or the feeling of positive anticipation. When you are using your email to create this sort of emotion of excitement or emotion of positive anticipation, the trigger words that you can use that are not done to death, some of them are done to death, and I have a super long list of words that actually elicit this kind of emotion, excitement and positive anticipation. But the ones that you see here are the ones that are generally less commonly used. They're not as done to death. So using words like upbeat, carefree, genuine, authentic, sincere, uplifted, unburdened, tenacious, there's a long list. What I want you to do is I want you to choose 5 to 10 words out of this trigger list that resonate most loudly with you. So for example, the word blissful does not resonate with me. It's not my brand. I don't talk about bliss. You know, the word liberated is a word that resonates with me. The word tenacious is a word that resonates with me. So go through this list and choose 5 to 10 words that actually resonate with your brand. And these are your trigger words when you want to create an emotion of excitement and positive anticipation. Okay, so far? Is that clear so far? Okay, I'm glad to say this list is priceless. You're truly amazing. Thank you, and Russ, this list in the lab. You can download this, but the longer list that has tons of other words is on the blog. But this one, you can download it. It's right underneath the video, so you can download it here. So you're okay so far? You need to choose 5 to 10 words from the second column that resonate most closely with your brand, and you will put them in a list whenever you want to get people excited or get them to feel positive anticipation in an email. Okay, great. But that's not the fun part. The fun part is the third column. My God, I'm excited about this. So the third column is where you bring in the personality, because so far, no personality. In the third column, what you will do is, for each of the trigger words that you choose, you will think of what else creates, what else would make you use this word. So if I use the word upbeat, what comes to your mind? Your favorite club music, for example. What comes to mind when I use the word carefree? A 3-year-old. What comes to mind when you use the word genuine, for example? A Buddhist monk. What comes to mind when I use the word authentic? Tiffany or diamonds. What comes to mind when I use the word sincere? Mother's love, for example. What comes to mind when I use the word uplifted? a favor from your, oh, not uplifted, that was sincere, a favor from your blessing. Um, Tenacious, what comes to mind? Like a farmer is tenacious, he works hard. And this, the equivalent triggers, is different for every person. It's different for every brand, every person, every, whatever you've gone through in your life, whatever experiences you have had in your life are going to determine what the equivalent triggers are. So the equivalent trigger for Bushra will never be the equivalent trigger for Amber, because we're not the same people. We have different history, everything is different. So I cannot, even if I use the same formula, and even if I use the same trigger words, and even if I am trying to elicit the same emotion, because my equivalent triggers are different, because my personality is different, it's never going to be the same subject lines. How fucking genius is that? Please tell me. Yes? Yes? Please tell me. I love this. Or maybe I'm just overreacting. Am I overreacting? It is pretty awesome, no? Because this is exactly how I do it. So, yes, tell me. Please tell me it's pretty awesome. Someone. I know it's a time lag. I know you're probably dying because it is awesome. Yes, yes. Someone, please. Yes, yes. Thank you, Nadia. Nadia is the name of my sister and my sister-in-law, so I absolutely love this name. Okay, great. Perfect. Excellent. Great. So yeah, I knew it. I think this is like, thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you so much for validating me, because I knew this was quite genius. Thank you, Brittany. Yes. Okay, so you guys agree. So I'm not a fool. Thank you. Okay, so when you have this list ready, trust me, you will never have to think of what exactly I need to write. You don't. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I'm underreacting. Do you sell your enthusiasm as well? I'm hypothyroid. I suffer from hypothyroidism. So when I went to the doctor, he was like, when you're hypo, you're supposed to be a little low on energy. So if you are like this with a hypo diagnosis, I don't even want to see you when you're normal. So I know what you mean about the enthusiasm. Okay, great. Excellent. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, great. So this is what you would want to do for excitement. Let's look at the others. What do you want to do when you're trying to elicit curiosity? The trigger words could be controversial, underground, what no one tells you, have you heard, behind the scenes, secret plot. And the equivalent triggers for me, for controversial, could be Clinton or Trump. Or in underground, the word could be mafia. What no one tells you, motherhood. For me, that's the biggie. Have you heard, breaking news? Behind the scenes, a backstage pass. Secret plot, a conspiracy theory. Unbelievable, Serena Williams, because I've taken up tennis again and I suck at it. So I think Serena Williams is absolutely unbelievable. But these could be different for you. If you're trying to create a fear of missing out or urgency, the words could be instantly, missing out, left behind. Instantly, the equivalent trigger could be ramen noodles. Missing out, that time you missed the concert because you slept, or you overslept, or your alarm didn't go off, whatever. Left behind, that time when no one asked you out to prom. That's an equivalent trigger. When you're trying to create a sense of temporary agitation or anxiety, terms like repulsive, equivalent trigger, Donald Trump's here. For me, that was the first thing that came to mind. And I'm kind of obsessed with Donald Trump in light of his recent racist comments. Scandal, ditto, Donald Trump. Shameful, his racist comments. So again, your equivalent trigger could actually vary from people to person, and they could actually vary from situation to situation. I might be feeling this way about Donald Trump today, but maybe 2 months down the lane, I have something else that's more repulsive and more top of mind. So the good thing about this process is it's never going to get old. You will revisit it in a week's time and you will have different subject lines that you can use. So you have all these great subject line ideas, trigger words and equivalent triggers. Use them and plug and play them in the 5 subject line formulas that you have in the bootcamp. And this is your homework. You will go through the list. You will use 5 trigger words for each emotion that speak the loudest to you and your brand. You will list down the equivalent trigger phrases for those 5 trigger words. You will plug them into the formulas that I share in the bootcamp, and then pick up any 5 subject lines and share them on social media. Don't forget to tag me if you're on Facebook and we are friends, which we should be, because I want to see what you make of this, and also use the tag emails that sell. But do not put this in without first qualifying your ideal buyer. You have to say if you are whatever your ideal buyer is, and then say which subject line are you most likely to click on. The purpose of doing this exercise is that you get instant feedback on which one are the winners and which one are the losers, so you can refine your list as you go. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about the homework? Because you guys need to do the homework. I'm telling you from now, I will be counting the tags that I get, and we also have a special prize for the tags that I will announce in just a little bit. So don't disappoint like Bill Cosby. Chocolate chip. Oh my God. Okay, major time save. Really hypothyroid. You could have fooled me. Okay, I don't understand how to use the third column in the subject line. Okay, great. I am going to tell you how you are going to use, let's bring her to Seattle. Okay, so to answer Elle's question, where was it? Yes, the question is, what if you have 2 or 3 different ideal buyer profiles? So 2 questions. I'm going to answer these 2 questions first. First question is from Elle. She said, you don't understand how you will use these equivalent triggers. You will use these equivalent triggers to plug in the subject line formulas that we have. So for example, you want to talk about, I want to use the word, let's just see, I don't know, carefree, like a three-year-old. You could use something like what a 3-year-old can teach you about living a stress-free life, something like that. There is no hard and fast rule as to how you would use this. The idea is that you have the subject line formulas, and then you have those equivalent triggers. What I do is that I have those lists with me, and I just mix and match. I go back and forth, and I see which one makes sense for the email that I'm writing, so that the idea here is you're using a proven formula, but you're injecting it with your personality, and you're trying to elicit the emotion that you want those people to get. So there is no hard and fast formula as to which plugs where. The idea is put these lists in front of you and just start playing with it. Start playing the game of mix and match. Okay, so Shanali had a question. She said, what you have 2 or 3 different ideal buyer profile? If I had typically in business, I don't recommend having 2 or 3 different ideal buyer profile. You have to start with one. You have to dominate that one demographic, and then you move to others. So for example, when I started the Persuasion Revolution, I wanted to cater to business professionals and online entrepreneurs, and it didn't work out. My marketing messages were wonky. My tone was wonky. I can't be the same thing to both. So I had to drop the business professionals for now. I will come back to them later. I'm hoping to come back to them later. But as of now, I'm only focusing on online entrepreneurs. Otherwise, your marketing message would just be mixed, which means they will not really get through. So yes, Nadia, tag me wherever, tag me anywhere, tag me wherever you want, but make sure that you do this and you use the hashtag and you tag me, because I really want to see what you're doing with this. Can you do a quick example of the third column with one of the 5 ways? I think I just did that, right? Okay. A more general question. What if I'm not always emailing to sell and to just connect with the story? Is that enough reason to send an email and just plug a headline, gets them to open? Absolutely. If you're sending an email to just tell a story, what you need to do is you need to attend the bootcamp lesson tomorrow, because we're going to talk about stories and the purpose of emails and brands of emails and the theme of emails, and why even when you're sending emails that are not selling, you are still selling. Because if you're not selling something for cash, you're selling something for attention. So you're still selling something. Every email is a sales email, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Do you create the subject line after you have the content of the email done? Yes. Yes, I do it after the content is done. I write the email first, and then the hashtag is emails that sell. That's the hashtag, emails that sell, and tag me, and I will tell you why you need to tag me. How would you niche it for a rude ass yoga therapist? The target market is wide. Okay, what does that mean? You are a rude ass yoga therapist? Is that what you're talking about, Kirti? Is that it? You don't seem to me like a rude person. Not at all. Yes? No? Okay. I don't know. Okay. I bought extra coffee for this week. You absolutely have to get extra coffee. That's needed. Okay, so are you covering the bad first date approach in the boot camp? I have a few questions about it. Yes, we are going to cover the first date, the bad first date. So basically, our homework is to come up with 20 email subject lines, and then you have share 5 using the hashtag correct. Yes, Shonali, ever the efficient. That's absolutely what you have to do. Yes. Okay, so if you are a rude ass yoga therapist, I would use something like, if you have not seen it, and I'm sure you've seen it, I would use the angle that the what was it? The fuck it meditation video that went viral. I say it like it is, no fluff. Yeah, so I would absolutely want to use something to that angle where you are targeting people. And there was also this yoga video that was about when it says when Gandhi goes to yoga. So it kind of disrupts the whole idea that yoga has to be gentle and yoga has to be, all about peace and softness, and kind of it breaks that myth. If I were you, I would use that angle. And then you would appeal to people like me who don't do yoga just because I can't, I can't relate to something that tells me that I'm too loud, I'm too much, I'm too much of everything. I have to slow down, and so that angle I would play on that angle, similar to what those people have done. Okay, so tired of yoga therapists blowing smoke up your ass. Yeah, that's a very interesting angle. And another angle could, for example, be, if you want to use controversial, you could say something like what Donald Trump can teach yoga therapists or something. That's an interesting angle as well. Okay, so now I'm going to announce the prize. So at the end of the boot camp, the person who does all the homework and posts the most homework, not most homework, uses the emails that tag. Okay, I need coffee. Okay, I'm going to start. It is everything that I just said. At the end of the boot camp, the person who uses the hashtag emails that sell the most to do the homework, get feedback, put themselves out there, and actually improve their email game. I have 2 spots for a 1-year membership to the Persuasion Hacks Lab. And that's about $250 a year. And I will be giving away 2 spots for free. For those of you who already are a member of the Persuasion Hacks Lab, I will waive your fee for the next 1 year. So 2 spots up for grabs for the person who uses emails that sell hashtag the most, follows, does all the homework, tags me. I want to make sure that I see what you're doing. I want to make sure that you follow the process like we discussed right now. And again, it's a numbers game. Whoever does it most, the 2 people who do it most actually get 2 spots, 1-year membership to the Persuasion Hacks Lab. Okay, where is the PDF? There are 2 PDFs right underneath the video, which is one is the slideshow, and the other one is how will you track? I will track. Okay, I've never loved homework, but inspired, obsessed. How will you track? I will track through the hashtag emails that sell. That's the only way I can track. You're going to have competition. Okay, download your homework here right underneath the video. So I'm going to track it, Fabian, I'm going to track it through emails that sell hashtag. And what I will do is that at the end of every day, I will do a tally. And okay, something really weird happened. I don't know what happened. Can you still hear me, see me? Or I just disappeared? What happened? Can you still hear me? What the hell? Okay. Hello? Okay. Okay. Something happened. I think. Okay. Can someone. Okay. Something happened to my. Something really. Okay. Can you hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. Yes? No? I don't know what happened. Okay. We can hear you. You can hear me okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I just freaked out. Something really weird happened and I freaked out, which is kind of, yeah. Okay, so we are done for today. I never stick to a timeline. I said we will finish early and I still didn't finish early. And I need to go check on my kids. I hope they haven't killed each other while we were doing this. So thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. I am super excited for tomorrow. And I'm super excited to wake up and see what you guys have done for the homework. And if there are any more questions, those of you who are not, okay, perfect. Those of you who are not in the 60-second persuasion group, please come hang out. And if you have any questions about this whole process, feel free to ask them. I know it's a little bit too much to do before tomorrow's lesson, but I believe in you. I know you can do it. So yes, breathe. Sean said to breathe. Okay, I breathe. Okay, great. Oh, Nadia, I love you too. Please take a longer sleep. You are awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up. I will see you tomorrow with the lesson. And before you go, please drop a nice little comment under this lesson so I can see whether you enjoyed it, whether it was confusing, whether it was too much, whether you hated my makeup, whether you enjoyed the farting dolphin. So any feedback that you have on the lesson, please drop it in the comment box underneath the video so I can wake up to nice messages because that always makes my day. I will see you soon.